Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is the first video of 2022, so Happy New Year. I hope you're all doing well. I thought that I would start the year with something that, again, is so common. Most of us have issues sometimes with getting to sleep. It can be some people ongoing insomnia, some people it just comes and goes. For me, I tend to get trouble sleeping when there's something on my mind, but I also can have issues sleeping if I know that I've got to be ready for a big job in the morning, if it's the fear of being late, or sometimes it's the overwhelming responsibility. If you know that it's a big filming job or a big client, sometimes the issue for me is I can't switch off, it must be the adrenaline. So it's the nerves basically, but there's so many different reasons why people have issues getting to sleep that I thought I would run you through 3 ways that work for me to fall asleep fast. And just before I start that, I want to say big massive thank you. Show you this. Look, this is the cutest tin of Quality Street ever. And I won't say who it is because I never know if people want me to say their names, but if you want to say who you are, you can leave it in the comments. But I got this for Christmas from one of you lovely people and a lovely card with it too. And I really appreciate it because I just feel on the channel as if we all get on so well and we have a laugh. You explain things to me about treatments and procedures and different areas of your expertise that help me. I hopefully help you. I think we learn a lot from each other and we have a good laugh. So for anyone to even think about me and send me a gorgeous tin, and I just, honestly, it was so nice. So thank you so much. And if you want to take credit, then please do. And your card was so lovely as well. You know me too well. So I just wanted to say thank you because that means so much. And I really do feel as if we've built a little community where, again, we learn things, we learn from each other, we have a good laugh, and I just feel let's continue that in 2022. And I am doing the video soon on really building your confidence and striving for your ambitions, because something happened again this week, which was almost like a manifestation of something that I thought I wanted to do, but I was too frightened. I put myself out there and I got an answer. I don't know if I can do it because there's issues with location and availability, but I swear if you feel the time is right and you are ready to go for it, it is weird how quickly you can start seeing results. So I'll do that video very soon. So 3 ways that work for me to fall asleep quickly. But again, bearing in mind that there are so many different reasons why sometimes it ain't happening. So the first one, I did a little YouTube short on it last week. It's a weighted blanket. So if you saw the YouTube short, and it'll be on the channel if you want to take a look, they're not new, but they're definitely becoming more popular. You can get weighted blankets of all different weights, all different sizes. This one is a 4 kilogram. I've got the information here, if you can see it, 4 kilogram. And they also say things such as stress relief, you can get deeper sleep. They don't necessarily work for everyone, but when they do work for you, it's believed to be because it can help. The weight basically can relax and soothe your nerve endings. It can be a stress reliever, and it can help to just take all your anxiety, your stress levels down. So there is quite a weight to it. It almost feels like a beanbag when you feel it. I don't know exactly what's in it, but you know when you've got the little beanbags and sometimes at school you used to throw them, play games, that's what it feels like. It's got the weight to it. They say that they're most effective when you use them consistently. Some people say use it for 20 minutes or half an hour, but other people say build it up to what's comfortable for you. And if you want to sleep with it for a full night's sleep, if it will help, you absolutely can. But find your comfortable positions, your comfortable weight of blanket. Cover your full body, so almost from neck, shoulders down, and sleep in a position where you get the benefit of it being evenly covering your body. And really just to give it a try if you do feel that you're running out of options for bad sleep, lack of sleep, bad quality sleep, but there are always contraindications, so make sure before you get one, if you're pregnant, if you've got any illnesses, ailments, underlying conditions, make sure that you read the contraindications before you buy one, because you don't want to find out that it's not suitable for you. You don't want to have wasted your time. So the first one is definitely a weighted blanket. Now I'm going to have to move these 4 kilos very smoothly, and there you go. Now the next one You'll have seen things like this before. Here come my water weights. Just for an example, that's all it is. So these again are 4 kilogram. You can get these up higher, but I think 4 kilogram was what was most comfortable for me. So these are filled with water. I could fill them more, but I was getting to that stage where every time I tried to fill it here, it was just overflowing. So I saved it at 4. So it looks a bit sad, but it's actually, it does what I need it to do. And these are resistance bands. So anyone can use, you don't actually need to buy expensive equipment for what I'm speaking to you about, which is, I'll take this one out, tiring yourself out. So I know it seems obvious, but the amount of people that don't realise that they haven't tired themselves out before going to sleep, you really don't realise it. You have to, now you need to tread that fine line between not exhausting yourself and also not tiring your head to the point where it's actually burnout, and tiring your body to the point where you're actually now, you've taken it beyond tired and you've taken it onto your body is begging you to give it a rest. So by tiring yourself out, what I mean is find exercise that works for you. Find a daily exercise that can be part of your routine to really get your body moving, get your systems moving. Tell your body the difference between rest and movement so that it knows that it's put in a good day. Your brain and your mind, you know, psychological, physiological, they do all connect. So a lot of people say as well, you know, in the morning, make sure that when the daylight is there, in the morning, you allow your body to experience real daylight, because it does trigger the parts of your brain and your body that need to know that the day has begun, kicking back to, you know, the basically Neanderthal times, caveman times. So there is an argument for making sure that you do treat your body in the way that it's designed. It's a complicated machine, but it also can be very simplistic in what you have to do. So find exercise that works for you. Weight bearing can be very good. Aerobic if you want to. Walking, choosing videos on YouTube, joining apps, joining gyms, classes, anything like that. You want to make sure that you've had your movement. You want to make sure that the systems have had their exercise, that they've been basically tired out but not exhausted. And it's not a bad idea to incorporate yoga into your weekly routine, maybe not daily but weekly, because yoga is not only strengthening and challenging, and it can really tone your muscles, and it can really, you know, it can tire you out, yoga, depending on what you do. But in addition to that, it's a calming discipline. You have to take it seriously if you want to. Take it seriously. There's a mental element to it, a physical element to it, but the meditation and the mindfulness and the calmness that it brings with it is also excellent for helping you to sleep. So if you want to think about the exercise that works for you, then I would say that you'll be well on your way to helping yourself fall asleep fast. And again, if you don't want to go to a gym or you don't have the space for weights, that's why I thought I'd show you these weights, because you fill them with water. These can then be poured out into the sink. You can take them on your travels with you. You can go on holiday, have them in the workplace. If you're going to friends' houses, staying over, anything like that, they're very, very handy. Hotel rooms, anything like that. So that's another thing that you can do. And then it leads me on to my third way that I find very effective to fall asleep fast. This will give you a little insight into what I'm either reading or about to read at the moment. Move these out of the way, a bit random. Is to visualise and dream or lose yourself in books, stories. So what I mean by that is, they say that screen time can be too stimulating, but I think if it works for you to fall asleep watching something, then do it. I also think that the radio can be excellent for falling asleep too, especially speech radio. There are quite a lot of 24-hour live channels. Sometimes it can also be shopping channels. I've told you before, QVC can be amazing for relaxing you. There's a bit of ASMR, I think, to the shopping channels. So if there's speech radio that relaxes you, then go for it, because it can feel like a friend is just lulling you to sleep, so do that. Screen time, maybe not the best, but again, if it works for you, then it works for you, and that's that. But they say about the blue light not being helpful, so that's why you might want to think carefully about that. But you can either read, and if there's a book that you are so absorbed in Now, my preference for books and magazines, as you can see, I've got a special of Classic Pop 1982. I'm really looking forward to reading that. It's just something that captures your imagination, and for me, I can find myself falling asleep and almost not dreaming about what I've read, but it's almost as if you have a better quality sleep because the last thing that's been going through your mind has been things that you're really engaged with and things that you're really enjoying. So it's almost like you're getting that buzz and you're really into what you're reading. Therefore, your sleep is more peaceful. Sometimes you do dream random things, but it's I think it's really helpful for me anyway to read something that connects with you, but it's not like a thriller that's got you on the edge of your seat. It's not something really depressing. So just to give you some ideas, I've been reading this book for ages, but I keep stopping and starting just because life gets in the way, but it's an excellent book. This is all about post-punk, taking you up to 1984, and there's so many good bands in it, and there's interviews, and it explains how we got from punk to basically proper classic 1980s pop, so I love that. I also love Simon Napier Bell, very famous agent who looked after people like Mark Bolan, Wham, much more than that. He writes a lot of books now, and they're his autobiographies of different times, and he is so unfiltered. I've not started this one yet, but I cannot wait to read it. So it even says here that it's a memoir of the 60s music business. I cannot wait. Melanie Blake, who, if you don't follow her on Twitter, you really should. She is a celebrity agent turned author, and she is so clever, so witty, and unfiltered in real life too. She will tell you the truth. So she's written this book, and again, she's hinted that it may be based on certain true stories, and it's honestly, if you love the sort of Jackie Collins style books and you're looking for someone who's doing that now, then check out Melanie Blake. So again, that's probably the most exciting book that I'll read in the sense that I might say, oh, one more chapter. You've seen this before, books that when I'm feeling a little bit in need of reminding myself why it's possible to navigate life sometimes when you're thinking, oh, I can't do this, or why is this happening? I love this, How to Become a Buddha in 5 Weeks. It just reminds me of the basic principles of Buddhism, the basic principles basically of why it's all okay and why you're going to be fine. So that's one that really does help calm me down. The icon that is Joan Collins, My Unapologetic Diaries. If you want a laugh, if it's someone again who is just saying it like it is, then I think I'm falling asleep to reading about someone who is basically telling you what it is like to live that celebrity style life and the people that you come up against and the situations that you get put in. I mean, this woman is just, no wonder she's a dame. Well earned. And then I have multiple autobiographies and biographies, and this is one of the ones I cannot wait to read because I love Bananarama. And this is their story, and again, that's going to tap into music, which I love reading about. Basically, I love reading about people's journeys. I've came to the conclusion that I love music, but what I particularly love is people explaining to you how it happened. And you know what? There might be an element of luck in how they came to get to where they are, but it's never just luck. It's always hard work, determination, strategy, and then a stroke of luck. And that might be what leads them into it. So I've not read this yet. I've heard a lot of interviews about the book. I've also got the Pepsi and Shirley one to read too. I've got so many autobiographies. I might actually do a book club because there are so many books that I read and I think, well, that was just amazing. I need to tell people about this. So I might just do that too. Maybe we can look into that this year. But really what I'm saying is it could be audiobooks if you just want to switch off and listen to the chat while you sleep. But if you can enjoy what you're hearing or enjoy what you're reading, or even if you're just really good at visualizing and setting yourself up for sleep with the kind of thoughts that can drift you into a happy place, memories of brilliant times, even what you did today that you really enjoyed. I think there's a lot to be said of switching your mind, training your brain to get ready for sleep by switching into the positive thoughts the happy thoughts, the visualizations. Some people say that they can train their brain to dream about what they want to dream because they've got themselves into that zone. And I believe that you can train yourself anything. And a lot of the time we train ourselves into negative thoughts. We're too hard on ourselves. We worry too much about the things that didn't go right, what we said, what someone said to us. Maybe it's about time that you helped yourself fall asleep by just banishing those thoughts. Write them down on a bit of paper or type them into your notes and say, right, these are all the things that are bugging me or I'm worried about. You can sit there for tonight because I intend on falling asleep thinking good thoughts, and just making sure that whatever you read, whatever you listen to, whatever you're thinking is actually nice and fun and a lovely way to fall asleep. So hope you found that useful. Tell me your ways that you can fall asleep quickly and get a good quality sleep, and the way that you can almost train yourself not to fall into that stress, worry, insomnia pattern. I'd love to know. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.